Hey, it's Clay, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol EARS. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So while this here may look like several days worth of time, it's actually today's price action broken down into 30-minute time slices. I like through this time frame that does a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price and then makes mapping out where levels of support and resistance a bit easier to see. Don't mean to state the obvious, but I will anyways. Pretty crazy movement today, not only from the price action perspective, but you look down here at the volume and well above average volume on the day, but a pretty sketchy chart now. I'm not going to call it a total pump and dump, but this thing's definitely walking on thin ice. And what do I mean by thin ice? Actually, let's change that to the color of what thin ice would look like. Thin ice for what? Well, essentially putting this at pump and dump status. And my definition of a pump and dump is where a price makes a really nice move, and then within a relatively short amount of time, the price goes back to where it started. And I think we can all agree that from where it was, just a day ago down here around 34, and then going up there and hitting up above 46, I think we can agree, like I said, that was a very nice move. And given that all this has happened in essentially 2 days, once again, I'm hoping we can all agree that that has happened in a short amount of time. So yeah, short amount of time, big price movement, and now the price is really starting to sit right around potentially going back to where it was, and that's where this 37-cent area comes into play. While I'm not saying this is what's going to occur, just to kind of illustrate why this area is so important, if the price were to drop down below there and worse yet, continue to sink to the downside, at that point in time, that would literally be putting the price right back inside of this range that it just broke out of. And not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that go back to where they were, not exactly a sign of any sort of true power. I mean, that's totally counterproductive. So that's why that area is very important. Now, to also be fair, because like I said, I'm not calling this full-blown pump and dump. Maybe the price comes down here, behaves in this manner, and then starts to work its way back upwards. What would you have in this scenario? Well, you'd have a set of lows right there. You'd have that set of lows down there. If you envision each of those as stair steps, well, hey, now from the big picture perspective, you got to give credit where credit's due. At least the price is starting to chip away and build higher lows. So that is still potential right there. So that's why, in my opinion, at least you can't just flat out call this a pump and dump because the price does still have the opportunity to build a higher base. So let's see if the bulls can do that or not and stay up above 37 cents. One of the biggest questions that I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.